I'm Shivani Mudaliar from Inspiring Evolution, and today we are celebrating World Volunteer Day. Today, Mr. Bapan Devarma is part of us and is celebrating the same. He is an entrepreneur and is supporting migrant workers coming from various parts of our country. And he has provided more than 300 meals. So, Bapan, could you just tell me about yourself?
Well, I run cafes, and I have three cafes called Out Like Crepes. And obviously, due to lockdown, we had to close our operations. And in process, of course, like we realized that the lockdown doesn't just affect our business; it also affects people who are associated with it. So, like you said, we were supporting 300 meals. That is, again, it doesn't goes to migrant workers; it goes to everybody who needs on the street, and we've been doing it every day. And my primary focus was to help my community who were working with me and their friends and their friends. So we started with our workers and their friends, and then we managed to reach out to about 50 immigrant community who are from different part of the country and who are here and without any help or any aid from the government immediately. So our my intention was to help them immediately and support them with rations for a couple of days, and that's how it all started, if you ask me.
Okay. So you're currently volunteering for the COVID-19 situation, correct?
Well, I won't. Yeah, the situation itself is obviously it's a COVID-19, and people say COVID-19 or 20 now. Uh, but the idea was not to support a particular, the crisis. It's more to do with a humanitarian crisis. I mean, obviously, COVID-19 situation has affected entire world, and it is affecting everyone around us, including us, that we cannot go out. Um, but when I talk about the situation today, the humanitarian situation is because of the COVID-19. A lot of people have lost their job, and people can't go back to their home, and there is a problem with the migrant workers, especially because they don't belong to the local community. They don't hold the ration cards, so getting access to the rations that uh, they're entitled to, maybe, but it's quite difficult. So what me and my friends had thought was that if you could contribute something that to the people that we know around, and which we identified about 50 family, I told you. Or even if, in fact, there are more that we're willing to help more and see if we can do much more. But our intention is obviously to help them in long run, to connect them with the agencies and the government aid agencies who can support them in this type of crisis. But immediately it was difficult for them to get access to those crises, like those aids, because of, obviously, I wouldn't blame the government or system, but there are too many people probably looking for aids, and the health line doesn't work, and coordinating with the officers or ward officers has been not so easy. And I just hope that it become easier for migrant workers to go and get the aids that they're entitled to.
Right. So, you know, I think you have been doing this for the past 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, we started with, like you said, we started with the cook meals. Like we didn't have jobs, and so what we thought is we could contribute towards the community. We make a meal every day, and we had a family who are supporting rations. And so we're cooking and distributing about 300 meals a day. And in process, we also realized a lot of people, when we go down there to give them food, and we also realized, like, say, for example, construction workers who are trapped in a building where they were building, and it's not about food today. And a lot of people have been distributing meals, that we realize, because obviously as out of courtesy or humanitarian support. But no one realizes that these people that I give you meal today, what to do in the evening, what to do next day. Because I remember one construction worker saying, like, are you coming back tomorrow? Because some days we get 5 pack of meals, but next day there's nobody comes. So obviously they have to stay hungry. That we cannot eat 5 meals in a day. So that there we realized that, I mean, obviously few of us, we thought maybe supporting them with bit of restaurants will help, because it's not supposed to cook meal, because they could cook however they want to eat. We don't choose, because I was quite happy, because I personally cook, and I was quite happy that I was making different meals every day and giving to people. But then I realized maybe they don't want to eat that meal that I make. But yeah, obviously, no one has complained about what we have given them. But I also realize the fact that they do need to eat it in the evening, and tomorrow and the after, where we cannot go back. And so I have personally gone back to the places where I felt people really need to, they didn't have food and rations. It took 1 or 2 days to obviously get the fund, or support from other friends. I remember going to HBR and beyond. There's 25 people trapped in a building. They don't get any support. I have given them number from BVMP helpline support. They've called them, they spoke to them, they said they'll bring, but it was 3-4 days, they haven't got any. So I had to go back and give them rations for at least 5 to 10 days for them. And I'm grateful that some of my friends have supported me in this crisis. They have distributed, they have supplied with rations and other basic, basic things they probably need, like oil, salt, sugar, and even including soaps. And so we managed to, like I said, we managed to reach out to a few people, but I know that it's not enough. There are hundreds of people down there without food today. And I'm pretty sure there's aid for them, enough resources that our government has it. But the only problem is we are not able to reach out to them, or they're not able to reach out to them. So I don't know how to help this. I mean, this is where I kind of find disturbing, because when we talk about health and the problems, and we tell people to stay home, and obviously I don't blame anybody, because the situation is such that, but we also know the fact there are people who will be sleeping hungry today. There are people who are not accessing the rations that they deserve.
So, you've been doing this. So tell me something. Do you find, what do you get out of this? Like happiness, or, some kind of satisfaction?
I think, like we talked earlier, when it comes to voluntary work, I think most people do voluntary work because they want to feel good about it. They don't want to be productive, or vice versa. And to me, obviously, I should be more worried about my situation, because I run 3 cafes, and that cafes is stuck, and I have 15 employees with me, and I don't know how to pay them salary next month. And the rent, of course. But obviously our landowners, are like property owners, are quite nice to us, and they have exempted rent during the crisis. But I don't think many get that kind of benefit. So when you ask me that does it make me happy, it's because obviously it does make me happy, because if I was thinking about my crisis, my situation, that the economy is going to take a long time to recover, and the business that I have built for 4.5, like 5 years now, it's just fallen to the ground, and I have to build them up again. But that I worry less about it, because if I was not doing this, I would probably be worried more about how do I bring back my business, how do I support my staff. And now I'm doing much better than my staff. I'm helping their friends and their families, and even father. So at this time, I don't think it's for me to do anything to make me happy than what I'm doing right now. I know that I have not done enough. I know that we're not doing enough, but we did what we could, and we'll continue to do so. So yes, I'm much happier than I would be in the house locked.
So, so I, like, as we discussed, you were telling me that you have an experience which actually motivates you to, encourage volunteering.
Well, like it's the same thing what I just said. For example, when someone volunteers, like I would request that, obviously we want to feel good, but do you also have to see the campaign really makes sense to us? Because if I'm volunteering to something, I should be able to know that, okay, my contribution really make a difference. Because most of us doesn't realize that. I have hundreds of friends telling me, oh, we want to help you cooking, we want to help you packing, we want to help you distributing, but we don't have that provision because it's lockdown, and I cannot entertain you coming to me and taking to the people and stuff like that. So, but they could help me another way around. They could raise fund for me. You could do social media promoting, or you could even find victims, reach out to the people, find a victim, connect them to the government or government agencies who are able to, give them rations. And the experience what I'm going to share right now, it's like I said, when I started, I didn't think that, even me, I came as a volunteer. I want to support, I want to help. 300 meals I cook every morning and distribute it to people. That made me happy. But then I realized there's much more to this. They uh, uh, like when I'm repeating again. Then I also realized just a meal is not enough. And also, I have seen a lot of people are doing it because they want to feel good about it. But then again, one is really looking at the reality or approach to it, that people really need support for long term. People will need support in long run, not just a meal, not just a few aids or rations. So, from my experience, I just think like we all can do a bit. Say I support 2 families around me. You can do it as well. Instead of a lot of people say, "Oh, I'll give you money, I'll give you donations. Can you do it?" I don't want to take that obligation because I'm an individual person. I'm not an NGO or government agencies. I don't have people to work with me or for me. I'm grateful that I have family, friends who have been supporting me to do this, but I cannot really do much. What we have done is we have done, and we will continue doing what we can. And like I said, so my request to all the volunteers who wants to volunteer today would be just do what you can. It doesn't really have to go and cook for somebody or deliberations. There's somebody else can do it for you. You do what you're best, and what you can contribute in whichever way, whatever you're good at.
So that's a great, experience knowing what's happening from your end. And it's a very good thing that you're doing at the time. And, Baban, thanks for your time. I know you've been, lockdown has been extended and you're busy with getting the passes and all. But, thanks for sharing this experience.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure. And thank you for connecting to me. And I hope we all can do a bit, all of us who are watching this.